Cléo from 5 to 7 by director Agnes Varda is a film that creates an image of Paris that is experimental and immerses you into the busy life of the city. As Cléo moves and travels through the streets, we're right there alongside her, and we get to see the city operating as it would without the presence of a camera. We see shots of the many cars driving through the streets, pedestrians walking past one another, and even street performers doing their acts for Parisian crowds. The footage itself is shot handheld, enhancing the film's hyper-realistic style, almost reminiscent of documentary filmmaking styles, such as observational cinema and cinema verite. The benefit of incorporating this style of filmmaking is that the camera can act as an observer of reality rather than looking at something fabricated and staged. Of course, the film is a narrative and not a documentary, but the lines can be somewhat blurred when we see that mostly everything is shot on location. So because we're looking at a city that has its own functioning systems in place, we're no longer a viewer, but actually part of the city. Cléo acts as a lens or mirror for both Paris and people's perceptions of who she is. Cléo is an entertainer, so part of her job is to be presentable and maintain a public image. But I feel that the need to always live up to others' standards is suppressing her individuality, up until the point where she takes off her wig and places it on the frame of the mirror. We don't know that she is wearing a wig. In an article from Forbes, known as Gender and Space in Cléo 5 to 7, Forbes states that the film therefore has a chiasmic structure, that is, it is divided into two halves so that the propositions in its first half are reversed in the second, and this shift or transformation is predicated on the idea that when Cléo takes off her wig, i.e. gets rid of her disguise, she appropriates the gaze. The mirror she looks at acts as a metaphor for the objectification she faces. The reason she needs to look at herself is because she feels societal pressures to look and act in a certain way. But once she takes off her wig and places it on the mirror, she's no longer the subject of people's gaze, but rather the reflection of it. We learn more about Cléo as she comes out of her shell, and the article Forbes says, interestingly, it is when this dialogue takes place rather than when she initially leaves her apartment that we discover Cléo's true identity, which turns out not to be Cléo at all, but Florence. Cléo's name is unknown to us until further into the film, which signifies that she wasn't ready to be vulnerable, possibly due to fear. But the last shot conveys to us that she has grown and has lost her fear.